So far in 2023, LEGO has released a number of really expensive sets. You've got the Jazz Club, the A-Frame, the Land Rover, Rivendell for $500, and it doesn't stop there. There's rumors that LEGO is going to be releasing a number of other large sets like the UCS Venator or a Disney Castle, and even a remake of the 1989 Eldorado Fortress. So is LEGO going too far with all of these 18 plus sets? And are they making a mistake in overextending themselves? Well, I'm going to analyze that in this video and tell you why this might be happening and what I think the implications are. As always, I want to provide some context for why I'm making this video. I've seen a number of articles and even some YouTube videos that talk about the increase in number of sets that are being geared toward adults. And one of the concerns is that LEGO could be overextending themselves, or that these sets are becoming so expensive that people are getting priced out of the market. And this video isn't about how expensive LEGO is, but it is about a byproduct of its cost. Especially in light of the August 2022 price increases, more and more sets are reaching that threshold that I would consider to be very, very expensive. Now, when I say that, I'm referring to sets that cost over $150 in 2023 and or over $200 again in 2023 dollars. Now, I'm not looking at themes like education, DACTA, gear, and some of those themes that really aren't released for the general population. So we're going to take a look at these sets that cost this amount and see, A, are we seeing an increase, and B, if so, why are we seeing this and what does it mean for us? So let's start with a simplistic analysis and observe any set that came out at $150 or even $200. The first one to cost $150 was the 1987 Monorail Transport System. And honestly, this was a set that I could only drool at as I looked at the catalogs from that era. The first set to come in at $200 was the Technic Control Center in 1995 when it cost $219. Now, if we extend beyond the Technic theme and go to a more system-based theme, unsurprisingly, the first $200 set was Star Wars, the UCS Rebel Blockade Runner from 2001. Now, if we want to continue in our simplistic analysis, we could take a look at all the sets that come in at, say, over $200 and see how many we have in 2022 versus, say, 2010. And taking a look at this line, you can clearly see not only an increase, but check out the trend line in light blue, an exponential increase. So this means we are seeing a huge increase in large, massive, very, very expensive LEGO sets, right? Well, not so fast. Yes, these are the prices that LEGO was charging back at that time, but inflation is real, and things that cost $150 in 1987 wouldn't cost $150 today. So we want to go to an inflation calculator and figure out how much we would spend, say, in 2010 that would be equivalent to $150 in today's currency. Now, when we do that, we start to see an interesting picture emerge. First, let's take a look at the sets that cost $150. Now, back in 2010, we only had 10 sets that hit this threshold, but it doubled by the time we get to 2015, just 5 years later. And the growth in these expensive sets slowed just a little bit through 2020, but then increased significantly to the point where we have 37 such sets in 2022. When we add the trend line, you can again see that an exponential curve tends to fit this relationship a little bit better. So what about $200 sets? Well, again, we can see there's been a significant increase since 2010 in the number of sets that cost $200 or more in 2023 dollars. At first, in 2010, there were only 6 such sets released, but by 2022, we were up to 24 of these sets. That equates to 2 massive sets every single month. Not only that, but since 2020, when there were 17 sets, we've seen a 41% increase in massive sets released. That's a lot to keep up with. It's hard for me, and I make YouTube videos. I can only imagine for the casual fan how difficult it is to keep track of all those massive sets coming out. So if you're a LEGO fan and you're thinking, yeah, okay, I get it, they're putting out so many massive sets, and that's a lot, you'd be right. I mean, again, this is 3 sets every single month at $150 or more, or even 2 sets at $200 or more. Now, on one hand, you could argue that LEGO's going too far, they're overextending themselves, it's too expensive, and they're just pricing everybody out of the market. And to that, I would say, not so fast. That's probably not the right read of this. Because on the other hand, we can see the logic LEGO is using here. The bottom line is that the strategy is working. Check out the 2021 LEGO financial report. The theme, LEGO Creator Expert, for their adults is one of their top 5 best-selling themes. And not only that, but if you look at 2022's report, you can see that LEGO Icons, the rebranded Creator Expert, still remains in the top 5 best-selling themes. So the reality is, even if some people don't like that LEGO is producing more and more large 18+ sets, by and large, they're still selling. But I would also argue it's not sustainable. Exponential growth in the number of massive sets being released is not something that's going to be able to happen forever and ever and ever. At some point, they're going to hit a wall, and they're going to run out of Gen Xers or millennials that are going to have disposable income, and they're going to have to find either new markets or scale back or slow down the growth of massive sets, and that's fine. Indeed, in the 1990s, when LEGO ran into its troubled time, it's because they overextended, not in the number of adult sets that they put out, but just in terms of their theme parks and video games, and the number of pieces and colors that they were producing every single year was just too much for what they were bringing in. And they adjusted. It was a tough adjustment. And so I hope that LEGO doesn't have to go through a similar tough adjustment with the amount of massive sets, and I don't see why they would, but the market will correct itself. The important thing, and the last thought that I'll leave with you as we wind down this video, and I think it's an important thought, is that we need to remember why LEGO exists. Put yourself in the shoes of yourself as a kid. You bonded with LEGO over sets that you probably, if they came out today, wouldn't buy. But you fell in love with LEGO and you had a great experience with those sets. For me, it was the motorcycle repair shop, and it was the police station from the mid-1980s that I would build and take apart and build again and play with, and I got every single penny's worth out of those sets. And if we remember that, and if LEGO also remembers that, then there are going to be plenty of sets that families with a middle-class budget can afford to get that represent good value, good play features, and things to do together as a family or to fill your own free time. Hey, before you go, if you like large custom LEGO creations, hey, check out these videos of our cool custom modulars that we built based on the 2023 LEGO Friends modular set. I think you'll enjoy those. Thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, and always remember to keep building together.